The camera opens on a dimly lit gym. A basketball bounces once, echoing through the emptiness. A massive shadow steps into the light, size 22 shoes hitting the hardwood with thunder. The man bends down, palms the ball like it's a grapefruit, and whispers under his breath, "Let's go to work." That man is Shaquille O'Neal, a name that echoes beyond the court. A legend built from sweat, laughter, dominance, and heart. But long before the fame, before the gold trophies, the roaring crowds, and the bright lights of Los Angeles, there was a boy. A boy who was taller than everyone else but didn't yet know what to do with his size. A boy who faced doubt, discipline, and the pressure to turn his difference into destiny. From the cracked courts of Newark, New Jersey, to the roaring arenas of the NBA, Shaquille O'Neal's story isn't just about basketball. It's about resilience. About believing you can be more than what the world expects. About using every gift, physical and spiritual, to build a life larger than life itself. Because Shaq wasn't just a player. He was a phenomenon. He was laughter and power, force and finesse. A man who could tear down a rim and still charm you with a smile. This is the story of the most dominant center the game has ever seen. A story of pain, perseverance, and playful greatness. This is Shaquille O'Neal's journey. Behind the medal. Shaquille Rashawn O'Neal was born on March 6, 1972, in Newark, New Jersey, a place of grit and survival. His early childhood wasn't easy. His biological father, Joseph Tony, wasn't part of his life. But his mother, Lucille O'Neal, was his anchor, a strong, loving woman who saw potential in her son long before he saw it in himself. When Lucille remarried, Shaq gained a new father figure, Philip Harrison, a tough, disciplined Army sergeant who believed in structure, respect, and hard work. Harrison's voice was deep, commanding, the kind that could make a room fall silent. "Son," he would say, "if you're going to be this big, you'd better be twice as good." They moved often, from New Jersey to Germany to Texas, following the military's path. Young Shaq didn't always fit in. He was awkward, shy, towering above other kids. But basketball? That was where everything clicked. It began in a German gym, where a young Shaq learned to move his giant frame with purpose. He fell in love with the sound, the bounce of the ball, the swish of the net. And when he saw footage of his idol, Magic Johnson, smiling and controlling the game, Shaq whispered, "I want that. I want to be like him." When the family finally settled in San Antonio, Texas, Shaq's body and confidence grew together. By high school, he was unstoppable, a giant who moved like a guard, dunking with power that made crowds gasp. The local paper started calling him the Big A. His senior year, he led his team to a 68-1 record and a state championship. Coaches across the country wanted him, but Shaq chose LSU, Louisiana State University, where he would meet Coach Dale Brown, the man who would shape his fire. Coach Brown didn't see a freak of nature. He saw potential for greatness. "You could be the most dominant player who ever lived," he told Shaq. Those words became prophecy. At LSU, Shaq was electric. He blocked shots like a wall, rebounded like a magnet, and dunked with fury that rattled entire buildings. In 1991, he won the NCAA's Player of the Year. But Shaq wasn't just raw power. He was charisma, a showman, already beloved by fans. He had humor, humility, and an imagination as big as his frame. When the 1992 NBA draft arrived, the Orlando Magic called his name at number 1 overall. In that moment, a new era began. When Shaq stepped onto an NBA court for the first time, it wasn't just a debut. It was an event. He didn't just dunk. He destroyed rims. Literally. In his rookie season, he shattered backboards, snapped supports, and forced the league to reinforce its equipment. The world had never seen anything like him. He wasn't just big. He was agile, fast, and graceful in a way that defied physics. Fans loved him instantly. Children imitated him. Reporters swarmed him. He was Rookie of the Year in 1993, an all-star, and already one of the league's biggest attractions. But Shaq was still searching for a championship, for validation, for legacy. Then came Los Angeles. In 1996, Shaq made a decision that changed everything. He signed with the Lakers, The city of stars had found its next superstar. And when a teenage prodigy named Kobe Bryant joined him, the fuse was lit. But greatness isn't born without friction. The Lakers were talented, but chemistry took time. Shaq and Kobe were two alpha energies, fierce, ambitious, both driven by the desire to dominate. They clashed often, but beneath it all was a shared hunger for greatness. In 1999, with Phil Jackson arriving as head coach, everything aligned. The Zen master taught them discipline, patience, and how to turn their energy into art. And when the 2000 playoffs arrived, the world witnessed the full power of Shaquille O'Neal. He was unstoppable. Game after game, he imposed his will, bullying defenders, dunking over double teams, roaring to the rafters. He averaged nearly 30 points and 15 rebounds per game, leading the Lakers to the 2000 NBA championship, their first in over a decade. Shaq was named Finals MVP, and then he did it again and again. 3 straight championships, 2000, 2001, 2002. 3 Finals MVPs. A dynasty born in purple and gold. The Staples Center shook with every dunk. Crowds chanted his name, "Shaq! Shaq! Shaq!" as he grinned, threw up his arms, and raised the trophy high. In those moments, he wasn't just a player. He was an icon of dominance, charisma, and joy. Yet behind the smile, there were battles. His feud with Kobe simmered. His weight and conditioning were criticized. The media painted him as lazy. But those close to Shaq knew he played through pain, through injuries, through exhaustion. He often whispered to himself, "They'll remember the rings, not the pain." After their three-peat, the tension boiled over. In 2004, the Lakers traded Shaq to the Miami Heat. For many, it seemed like the end of his era. But Shaq wasn't done. In Miami, he met a young guard named Dwyane Wade, quick, fearless, hungry. Together, they formed a new bond, a mentor and a star rising together. In 2006, Shaq delivered one more masterpiece, guiding the Heat to their first ever NBA championship. When the final buzzer sounded, Shaq hugged Wade and whispered, "You got next. 4 championships, a legacy sealed." But Shaq's greatness was never confined to the hardwood. Off the court, he became something else entirely, a personality larger than sports. He released rap albums, starred in movies, cracked jokes on talk shows, and later became a beloved sports analyst. He was everywhere. Not because he craved fame, but because he loved making people smile. Shaq the player became Shaq the entertainer, the businessman, the philanthropist. He earned degrees, invested smartly, helped families in need, paid off strangers' debts, and showed the world that strength could also mean kindness. And yet, through all of it, the fame, the fortune, the fun, Shaquille O'Neal never forgot where he came from. He often said, "Everything I am, I owe to my mom and my stepdad. They gave me the discipline, the heart, the drive." Today, when you see Shaq laughing on TV, helping kids, or mentoring young athletes, you see the same spirit that drove that boy in Newark. The boy who wanted to matter. Because Shaquille O'Neal didn't just dominate basketball. He changed it. He redefined what a big man could be. Powerful and playful, unstoppable and unselfish. He showed that greatness isn't just about rings or records. It's about legacy. How you make people feel. How you lift others while climbing yourself. In the end, Shaq's story isn't just one of athletic power. It's the story of finding purpose in laughter, of turning challenges into fuel, of becoming the man your family dreamed you could be. Shaquille O'Neal stood taller than most, but not just in height, in heart, in humor, in humanity. He taught us that dominance can coexist with joy, that confidence can be kind, and that true greatness is measured not just by what you achieve, but by how you inspire others along the way. So the next time you face doubt, remember Shaq. Remember the kid who turned pain into power and pressure into purpose. Because legends aren't born, they're built. Brick by brick, rebound by rebound, dream by dream. This was Shaquille O'Neal's journey. Behind the medal. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful journeys of athletes who turned struggle into glory. Because every medal, hides a story worth telling.